Hello Eurovision friends, thank you so much for coming to my channel Eurovision Histories. Today I want to try to predict the jury winner of Eurovision 2024. This is an incredibly open year, so this will be really fun because I have actually no idea who will do well and who will not, but I have a few ideas and I want to share them with you. I am not an expert, please don't take this too seriously, I'm just sharing my thoughts with you. And if you have a different opinion, let me know in the comments, but also kind of try to convince me of your opinion. Just telling me that I'm dumb or that I don't have any idea is not helping. Please substantiate your arguments is what I'm trying to say. I also did the prediction for the televote winner, and then later on I will do a video on the overall prediction for Eurovision. Now, what I've tried to do is look at the last 5 editions of Eurovision and which kinds of songs did well in the jury vote in these editions, and kind of try to find a pattern and distill a essence of a song that does well with the jury. So let's look at that together. First of all, 2019, I think to the surprise of everyone, Tamara Todevska won with a English pop ballad with a very impressive vocal performance and a very good staging. In second place, we had John Lundvik with a good staging and a very good vocal performance as well. There were some gospel-y aspects. I think the juries liked that as well. And just very slick performance and an English pop ballad, kind of soul ballad, I guess you would call it, but it's also kind of upbeat. Let me know what you think the song is. Then we had Duncan Lawrence, the overall winner, with a very impressive vocal performance, an English ballad again. Mahmoud with an urban hip-hop influenced pop song in Italian. Number 4 in the jury vote is sometimes the outlier, you will notice, because the others are kind of English mainstream pop songs or ballads, and number 4 is always a bit different, so watch out for that. And then in 5th place we had Chingiz with a very slick and mainstream pop song again, and a good staging as well. In 2021, we had John's Tears win the jury vote with an incredible vocal performance, and that's maybe the main reason he won. The song was very good, pop ballad in French. The jury seemed to like songs in English or prefer songs in English, not in national languages, but they seem to have less of a problem with French and Spanish and Italian, so the Romance languages, I kind of seem to notice. Because in second place, we also have Barbara Pravi with a very good performance for Voila. Of course, then we have Destiny in third place with a very slick pop song, great vocal performance, a good staging again as well. And only in fourth place, we have Måneskin, who went on to win, of course, and to become worldwide stars. So the juries have to kind of ask themselves, why didn't we notice that? But this is a rock song, quite loud, not following a pop structure in the music, in the way it is composed. And it is also in Italian, and juries don't like songs that are in a genre that is not really pop, I kind of seem to notice. Then we have Dadi with Nerd Pop from Iceland. And in 2022, you can kind of see Sam Ryder, pop song, very good vocal performance. Cornelia Jacobs, a pop ballad in English, very good vocal performance again. Chanel with one of the best choreos we've ever seen. Good vocal performance, especially when you consider the choreo that she had to do. Then you have Kalush Orchestra, again, the fourth place, a bit of an outlier, with a traditional song, well, hip-hop and traditional elements combined in this song, but also a catchy song and a good song. And in fifth place, you have a ballad, very slow ballad, partly in Portuguese, but mostly in English by Maro. And then last year, you can see very slick English pop song by Loreen with famous songwriters as well. Slick pop song by Noah Kirel with a good performance and a great staging. Marco Mengoni, a perfect vocal performance. Slick pop ballad in Italian, but still a pop ballad with a good vocal performance. Fourth place, again, an outlier. You have Kerje with a very over-the-top performance in Finnish. So there is always an exception to the rule in a way. And you have Alika, again, great vocal performance and kind of a standard English pop ballad. So having all of this in mind, let's look at what I kind of found out is the kind of song the juries like. This is all very generalized, of course, but it is kind of a pattern that I noticed a little bit. First of all, we have the well-performed pop ballad. We have Alika, we have Marco Mengoni, Tamara Todevska, Cornelia Jacobs, Barbara Pravi, John's Tears, Duncan Lawrence, and lots more. We also have the very slick pop song that could be a chart hit with Loreen, with Sam Ryder, with Noah Kirel, Destiny, and Chingis. And we have the fun, well-performed songs that are kind of the exception that prove the rule, like Måneskin, Kalush, Davi, and Kedie. And by kind of finding the opposite to that, things that juries don't seem to like are rock or genres that aren't pop, really traditional elements, national languages that aren't the Romance languages or English, artsy stuff, subpar vocals are a big no-no, and also messy performance is something the juries don't like. So having all of that in mind, I kind of tried to look at all the songs we have this year and the five that I think are the most likely to be a jury winner, and the ones that aren't are likely to be in the top 5, I think. So let's have a look. This is a prediction. This is not what I want to happen, and I don't think this should happen, because this would continue the conspiracy theories that there's something going on with the juries in Sweden. But we have to remember that this is the only male-led English pop song we have in the entire competition, and the juries like this kind of stuff. The staging is very impressive, and I also think that they might be impressed by the names that wrote this entry. And it is just a very slickly performed song. It is kind of catchy. I personally think it lacks a lot of things, but I do think that the juries might go for this. But it's my number 5, so I don't think it's all that likely. And I kind of hope it isn't. Then I have Angelina Mango with La Noia. This doesn't really kind of fit any of the criteria I just mentioned. It's in Italian. The juries don't have anything against that most of the time. But it kind of fits them a little bit. It is fun. It is well performed. The vocals are good for all the movement that she does, especially. The song is interesting musically. There are a few traditional elements in there, so the juries might not go for it 100%, but maybe they could also open up their minds a little bit this year. And I just think that the song is on such a good level and is doing what it does so well that I think the professionals should be going for this as well. Then I have Slimane with Mon Amour. Again, the juries love a good vocal performance. I think he has the best vocals this year, probably. They like a standard pop ballad, which this song is, but they also like songs in French. And I do think, well, I mean, like songs in French. I know everything is a bit generalized, but I thought if Barbara Pravi can come second with Voila, which in a way is a bit of a better song, but I think Slimane has a way better vocal and more impressive layers to his vocals than Barbara Pravi, even though she's a very good singer as well. I think that they might really fall in love with him and with the performance. And I don't have a lot of doubt that France will find the good staging for this, not like last year, and a bit a staging as intimate as Voila. And so I think this is a real possibility. And then I have Musti for Belgium. Again, the juries love a pop ballad that is well performed, preferably in English. And all of this we have here. I saw a rehearsal clip. He sings impressively well. The staging will be slick. It is a good pop song, an interesting structure. They will really, I think, notice the artistry and the production also that went into the song. The staging will be good. And so I think this is my number 2 prediction for the televote. For the jury vote, of course. And then in first position, the main contender, I think, to win the jury vote would be Nemo and the Code for Switzerland for me. Why is that? We had John's Tears with a very impressive vocal performance, and I saw some clips of him rehearsing as well. And he seems to be able to do all of the register changes and all of the things that you kind of have to do to perform the song well. He really seems to be able to do that, and that will really impress the professionals and the juries, I'm quite sure. And this song also does what La Noia does a little bit. It has some elements that make it stand out and make it unique, and some other, which juries that voted for Måneskin or Kedie might like. but it also has an aspect to it that makes it a slick pop song, catchy, and a song that could be on the charts, which the other juries might go for. So in the end, this could be the kind of song that either convinces everyone or it convinces no one. But at the moment, I think this will convince everyone, especially in the professional juries. The staging will be impressive as well. And so this is my prediction for the winner. Now, I also have a few honorable mentions that will do well, I think, but I don't think will win the jury vote. Number one would be Ukraine. I was thinking about either Sweden or Ukraine as my number 5 in this. But in the end, I thought that Ukraine has a few too many elements in the song. The rap that juries usually don't go for, the traditional elements, the chanting, and maybe also some parts of the lyrics that some juries might not like. So in the end, I think this is a bit less likely. This will do very well, I think, with the juries, because it's also one of the only ballads. But yeah, I don't think this will win. Then I also have Luxembourg with Tali and Fighter, because I noticed that in my top 5, there is a bit of a girl bop missing. And I looked at all of the ones that we have, and this one is the one that convinces me the most, especially with the composition, with the many hooks in the song, with her performance chops as well. So I think this might actually do quite well in the jury vote. Also, the fact that Luxembourg is returning, this novelty effect a little bit, might help. And then I also wanted to talk about some of the ballads. We have very few this year, but the juries really like ballads. And I thought of the Conchita moment in 2014, and also what happened with Salvador Sobral in 2017, where no one really predicted them to do that well. And then they had their moment and they kind of shone on that stage in televote and jury vote, actually. But yeah, as the juries liked ballads, I thought to include a few more. I do think that Slimane has the upper edge because of the incredible vocal performance. But still, here they are: Latvia, Israel, Portugal, and Serbia. For Latvia, I think the main problem will be to qualify from the semifinal. Because that's a bit hard, I think, because it's televote only. But once he does that, Dons, I think the juries will love the vocal performance and will give this lots of points. And he might have a bit of an Alika moment where he just qualifies for the final. But then when the juries come in, he will get a good result. Israel is an English pop ballad with a good vocal performance. So that's what the juries go for. However, we have this very special situation with everything happening around the entry. And so it is very hard to predict what will happen this year, how this will affect its chances. And so I'm just not sure, to be honest. Then we also have Portugal. I think it is just a bit too Portuguese, maybe, for the juries to go for it 100%. And the same actually for Serbia. They're in Portuguese and Serbian, and the juries prefer English usually, and so they might just be a bit too traditional for the juries. So this is my prediction for the jury vote. Again, I'm not an expert, I'm just talking, I'm sharing my thoughts with you. Do let me know in the comments if you have a different opinion nicely, and kind of tell me your arguments for them. And please subscribe to my channel. My prediction on Eurovision overall will be coming out soon, and lots of other fun stuff. So I can't wait to share that with you. See you then, and I'll see you in my next video if you want to. Bye-bye.